Do you ever wish you could bring the restaurant experience home with you? Or maybe you're just looking to make one of your favorite restaurant recipes healthier? Well, friends, you're going to love this perfect hibachi steak. It's just like Benihana's. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Taylor from The Girl on Bloor. I show you how to make easy, healthy recipes that you can live your best life. Now, today's recipe has got to be one of my absolute favorite ever restaurant copycats, and we're making it a little bit healthier because we all know the ingredients and what's going into it. I've taken my popular hibachi chicken recipe and leveled it up to hibachi steak. We're talking tender pieces of top sirloin and a delicious sesame soy marinade complete with a plate of Benihana fried rice, their delicious sauteed veggies, and their famous mustard sauce. What's not to love here? I'll even sometimes take this whole meal and turn it into my weekly meal prep lunches because why share when you don't have to? So if you're ready to dive into all of this deliciousness, I'll show you how to make it. You'll need 1 pound of top sirloin steak, sesame oil, soy sauce, hoisin sauce, garlic and ginger for the steak itself. Then you'll need light mayo, soy sauce, rice vinegar, and Dijon mustard for the mustard sauce. They're ingredients you should already have on hand at home so you can get to cooking right away. Then for the veggies, you'll need carrots, mushrooms, onions, and zucchini, and you'll essentially stir fry those with just a little bit of soy sauce. You can use any veggies you'd like here, so that's something to keep in mind. Then for the rice, you'll need white rice, butter, garlic, soy sauce, an egg, and some green onions. I like to start the whole recipe by making the rice so that you have that ready to go by the end. You can make the rice up to 2 days in advance, and that's usually what I do because leftover rice tends to soak up more flavor and then you've saved a ton of time on the recipe up front. So take a rice cooker, then add 1 cup of white rice, 1.5 cups of water, and a pinch of butter. That'll net you about 2 cups of cooked rice. I love using a rice cooker because it cooks hands off while the rest of the recipe is cooking, but you can also make the rice in a pot on the stove. While the rice is going, it's time to marinate the steak. I like to mince my garlic first because we also need garlic for the fried rice, so mince up 8 cloves of garlic all together, then divide in half. 1/2 goes to the steak marinade. So to a freezer bag or large bowl, add 1 tablespoon sesame oil, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of hoisin sauce, 4 cloves of minced garlic, and 1 tablespoon of fresh minced ginger, and mix that all together really well. One tip I love is that you can freeze ginger for months. Just pull it out of the freezer when you need it and grate it on the finer side of the cheese grater. So now that your marinade is done for the steak, you'll add 1 pound of top sirloin to your freezer bag or bowl and then let it sit for at least 20 minutes. You'll then mix up your mustard sauce. Take a medium-sized bowl and add 1/2 cup of light mayo, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of rice vinegar, and 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard. Once the mustard sauce is done, you'll saute your veggies. Thinly slice 1 carrot, then slice 1 cup of mushrooms in half. From there, you'll chop up 1 yellow onion and a zucchini. These are the typical veggies you find at Benihana's, but sometimes they switch it up depending on the season, so don't be afraid to just use whatever you have on hand. Now that your veggies are prepped, add 1 tablespoon of olive oil to a large pan over high heat. Once the oil is hot and smoking, you can go ahead and add your veggies, seasoning with salt and pepper. Towards the end of the cook time, when the veggies have softened, you'll stir in 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. I find that soy sauce can cause a sort of burnt taste if you add it in too early, so I recommend waiting until the veggies have softened and are pretty much done. The veggies will be ready sooner than you think. They really only need 5 minutes in the pan, so don't overcook them. Remove them from the skillet and then you will cook the rice in the same skillet. This is where I'm gonna ask you to step up your cooking game and form some professional chef skills because we are gonna multitask and cook the steak and rice at the same time. Exciting, I know. At this point in time, if you started the rice right at the beginning of the recipe like I told you to, it'll be done and ready to use. Now grab the skillet you used for the veggies and heat 2 tablespoons of butter, reducing the heat from high to medium high. At the same time, you'll grab another medium-sized skillet and heat that over medium-high heat. When the pan is hot, add your steak, searing for 3 to 5 minutes per side, depending on the thickness of your steak. Do not flip before the 3 to 5 minute mark so you can allow each side to develop a nice sear. At the same time, I want you paying attention to the butter in the large skillet. When the butter is melted, add in the 4 remaining cloves of minced garlic, sauteing for a few seconds until fragrant. You'll then add your 2 cups of cooked rice and 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, cooking for 5 minutes until the rice is heated through. And maybe even less time if you're using fresh rice instead of leftover rice. You'll then create a hole in the middle of the rice, add a tiny bit more butter, then crack an egg once the butter is melted. Scramble it gently, allowing it to be mostly cooked through, and just set. Toss the rice with your green onions and then remove the pan from heat. Around the same time, the steak should be done, so you'll be removing that from the pan and allowing it to rest for at least 5 to 10 minutes while you plate the rice and veggies. I like to do the steak and rice at the same time to keep the veggies from getting too cold, but if that's too much multitasking for you or you are more of a beginner cook, I recommend you cook the steak, let it rest, and then take on the task of the rice. So plate your veggies, Plate your rice, add your mustard sauce in little bowls, and then you can dice up the steak into 1-inch pieces, dividing it all among 4 plates. And just like that, you've got the best takeout made by you, yourself, Newfound Gourmet Chef. Seriously, this dish is such a crowd pleaser and it's the perfect way to impress guests, and it's also a delicious option if you're getting sick of the same old meal prep. It reheats fantastically, so you'll be able to enjoy it all week long if you want. Store in individual portions in meal prep containers and sprinkle some water over top before reheating in the microwave for 2 minutes or so. You can also freeze the rice if somehow, freakishly, you have some left over. Honestly, that's pretty doubtful given how addicting fried rice is. The power of carbs, baby. Now I know some of you might be thinking, but Taylor, I don't eat beef. Well, it's okay, I've got you. I also have a Benihana Hibachi chicken copycat up on the blog. I've linked to it in the description, so head there to check it out. It's equally delicious. You'll also want to check out the other restaurant copycats I've got on my YouTube channel here, so make your next party a blast and make some delicious restaurant food at home. I totally fulfilled my Benihana craving by making this video today, so if it looks super amazing to you too, tag me on Instagram at @thegirlonblur when you make it. I always share your pictures and I love seeing your recreations. Thanks so much for hanging with me here today. I had a ton of fun and I can't wait to see you in my next video.